Morning, all. All right, so it is still morning here for about another 40 minutes. Some news of the day for all you fine people as Saturday rolls along and we start finding out who all the starting goalies are and everything. Crosby returns today, so he goes from game time decision to probably not, and it becomes he's back. Jeff Carter returns as well. So Pittsburgh, in time for their game against New Jersey, they're going to have two of their big centers down the middle back. That should completely change their attack. And so they emerged without Crosby at 3-2-2, and now that Crosby's back, they'll have a chance to maybe build things up. We'll see how things work out for them, and what kind of role Evan Rodriguez has with Crosby and Carter back. I think he played relatively well. I think he warrants maybe a little more ice time than he might have been envisioned to have before the season started, but we'll see what they do. Jack Hughes, they have announced it's going to be at least 5 more weeks. So that shoulder, at least 5 more weeks to get that fully healed up. I hope that soon. I kind of hope that 5 weeks is the most and that he's back before that. But of course, with Hughes, he's young. You want to make sure that you're keeping the long-term picture in mind. And you want to make sure he's 100% healthy before you throw him back into the lineup. The LA Kings are apparently calling around seeking defensemen. I'm kind of surprised to see that and hear that because Sean Durzi last night here in Abbotsford, I think he had 3 assists in the game. Looked quite good. He had a goal and 2 assists in that game. I was like, was it 3? No, it was goal and 2 assists. He looked really good. I'm kind of surprised that LA didn't call him up. They've got other defensemen there too, but I guess maybe they're looking for a veteran, right? But yeah, so the LA Kings calling around seeking defense because Walker's out for the year and Doughty's out for 6 to 8 weeks. So yeah, it's a while for the Kings before they're going to get their defense in order, and so they're calling around to see what they can get. Vegas, this happened a couple days ago. I forgot to put it on the news board, so I'm doing it now. Zach Whitecloud signing a 6-year extension with Vegas for $16.5 million for $2.75 million as the cap hit. That could end up being a big steal of a contract at some point. Whitecloud, I think, has been decent for them. Top 6/top 4, and young player. So this is we're signing him. He's young, and we're not going to have to worry about it. And then there's that cap certainty later on. They also signed Ben Hutton for a league minimum $750,000. I'm always glad to see Ben Hutton get another contract because he always seemed like a decent guy, nice guy. And so, while he's probably best suited to be a number 6, number 7 defenseman, probably clears waivers to go to the minors here and there. I like Ben Hutton, so all the best to him. It's also been announced that Nashville color announcer in between periods, Terry Crisp, who of course is most famously known for leading the Calgary Flames to the Stanley Cup in 1989 as their head coach. He's going to retire at the end of this season. So, all the best to Crispy on that. And I do enjoy his takes. I don't always agree with every take, but you know what? That's not really the point, is it? The point is that you're entertained and that he's very clear in how he feels about things and situations. And I think that it's a shame. So Nashville's going to have to figure out who would take over that role next year. There was some controversy out of last night's games. Apparently, towards the end of the game between Columbus and the New York Rangers, Elvis Merzlikins basically told his teammates, just back off. And he saluted Igor Shesterkin at the other end of the ice, which has led to people being mad. Now you play to the whistle, and you play to the horn, you play the whole 60 minutes, and how dare he, and this is horrible. And they were behind by 4. So, I understand, break the shutout, and be competitive. But, they were behind by 4, so I don't think it's that bad. And it's not like Columbus had something in those last 20 seconds that was going to magically break that shutout. Sure, it's possible, but is it likely? No. So, I don't think it's a big deal. It's not like Shesterkin's playing terribly, but the other goaltenders are making him look better. Now remember, we have an agreement in the goalies union this year. Shesterkin gets excellent numbers, so no slap shots, no shots through traffic, and no net crashing. Just knock it all off. We have agreed in the goalies union that this is how it's going to. Shesterkin gets the Vezina this year. It's not a thing. So I don't have a problem with what Elvis did. And again, it's one of those things that people will get mad and upset. But I really don't think it's that big a deal. And then out of last night's games, too, there was a sequence where Detroit, and I've seen it now, Detroit, all the shot blocking against Florida, which there are people who are mad at me for not reporting on what I didn't see last night. So this is always the question mark. So I come home from last night being out watching a game, and we get home at around 11 o'clock at night. And so by the time I've got the board done and I've got the review done and everything, it's going to be around 11:30. By the time I do the preview for today's games, it's around 12 o'clock. So yeah, I don't hunt around for all of the highlights of everything that took place. I don't then add another half an hour because I know that on Saturday today, I'm going to be watching hockey for almost 12 hours of the day. So yeah, it's one of those things where I try to pace myself a bit. And like I said last night, once we're able to go back to watching hockey games, I really wanted to go and watch hockey games again. It had been a year and a half, and having a team locally is very handy. AHL hockey's good hockey. If you have an AHL team near you, I cannot suggest enough that you go out and watch it because it is good hockey. You notice that the players might be a little slower in some cases. The one thing I notice is that it does feel like there's the smaller players in the AHL, so I kind of get it. But there's some too that I'm like, he's a pretty good player. If he actually got called up to the NHL, you never know. But I do kind of get it. But yeah, I'm very congratulatory of the Detroit Red Wings for their work ethic. I even said that last night. I said they don't give up. The fight back is always there with them, and they're entertaining to watch. So yeah, I mean, the blocked shot sequence, I didn't see it until after I had done the review and the preview. And here we are. And it's between the first and second period between the Islanders and Nashville. There's a board behind this where I'm tracking that. Then I got to watch Montreal and LA. And then there's 8 games. And then I got the power rankings tonight. So last night I was looking ahead and going, it's going to be a busy night for Saturday. So get the review and preview done. And of course I take notes during the first and second periods of the other games. So, I basically take notes right up until the minute we go. And then the minute I get back, I get right back onto the boards. I don't do anything else. I go right back to the boards, and I'm right back to work. So, it's just that 3 hours that I go. I'm just gonna take a break and go watch hockey from watching hockey. So, highly unusual, but there you go. So hopefully there's more returns from injury tonight and all that wonderful stuff. And if anything big happens in the NHL, I will be here to report on it. Of course, the NHLPA as well. Don Fair's called basically a meeting of the union. And there's some speculation about whether or not he might step down over the whole Kyle Beach thing. And you know what? Honestly, I'd respect him if he did, because they failed him. The union absolutely failed him, that he puts up a huge complaint. And they basically shrugged it off. They ignored it. They didn't do anything to follow up on it. So, and again, if it's he hadn't actually played a game in the National Hockey League, so that's not supposed to be the players union is not supposed to work that way at all. We've heard that argument before. If they're in the AHL, they're not really in the union. That needs to stop. That really needs to stop. So there's also the discussion about Bettman and his leadership, and his leadership's been called into question at times. And I could definitely do a video on times when Bettman's leadership has been called into question, going right back to when he started, and some of the issues that people have pointed to that they've said, and there's a reason Bettman should be out. But at this point, we're going to leave it at that for now, and we'll see what happens later. And again, I'll be here to report on it when it happens later, because until 10 o'clock tonight, there'll be hockey games of some sort on. So, 9:30 or 10, so yeah, it's about 12 hours. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support, though. It does mean a lot. The channel getting closer to another 1,000 subscribers added and all that. So thank you guys so much for watching, for commenting, for upvotes, for downvotes. All of it counts as engagement. So it all counts as engagement. All of it. So YouTube just looks and goes, oh, this video is getting engagement, means people are going to watch it, means we'll promote it more. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, though, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. And as I said last night, for the people who came over and said hey during the game, that was appreciated. And for anybody else who might be kind of on the fence about it, it doesn't bother me at all. it's not really a big deal. I do appreciate the support, because without everybody out there supporting me, this channel isn't what it is, right? So I appreciate that, and I don't take it for granted. Thank you guys so much for all of that support along the way, and I will talk to you again soon.